Hey, so I'm Kevin, Sylvie's husband. I handle the camera work and editing stuff around all the content Sylvie puts up on Patreon, the Muay Thai Library. And if you've been following my vlogs, I've been doing some slow motion photographing of Sylvie's training, kind of experimenting with what we can capture with the Fujifilm cameras. Been able to shoot with. And I thought to myself, Sylvie's training right now is pretty unusual and super interesting, and I kind of wanted to just film it. Not film study, not talking technique, no voiceover or anything, but just to invite everybody in to what a day, part of a day of training for Sylvie, what it's like. Because not many people get to train like this. So Sylvie's training alternates between one set of things she does one day, and then the next day she does something a little bit different. Then she goes back to what she had just done. So I'm focusing on her every other day training, which involves an hour with training with sparring with Yot-Kun Pon, the elbow hunter of 100 stitches, probably the greatest elbow fighter ever. And she actually does that 6 days a week. And then in the afternoon, every other day, she goes to train with Andre, who's a Russian boxing coach, and he is building a small gym on his farm where there are horses and pigs and dogs, and it's kind of amazing. Because of COVID, it's very quiet there. So that's what this little film is. It's just capturing rounds of Sylvie training with Yot-Kun Pon for her hour. I don't know, I've maybe filmed 4 or 5 rounds in different ways. I wanted to kind of create an atmosphere so that you felt what it was like to be there. We go to WKO off hours. Sylvie trains kind of like just privately in an empty gym with him. So she's just in an empty gym with him. And the kind of work she's doing is kind of a mix between sparring and like really improvisational pad work in a weird way. He puts belly pad on and shin guards. We've adapted shin guards to become thigh guards. We like modified the Velcro so he could get them on his thighs. But he's actively sparring and moving with her, so it's kind of like so much better than pad work because nothing is scripted, but he's molding himself to her and causing her, having her to solve problems in space, which is what we're really looking for, is this lots of time under some duress, fighting in space, improvisational conversation. So that's what you're looking at. Some of what you'll see in these rounds with Yot-Kun Pon, they're labeled diamond guard rounds. You can check out what the diamond guard is. It's a guard that we've kind of invented off of an old boxing guard. Everybody likes to say this is not new, this is Archie Moore used it, so-and-so used it, yeah, Gene Fulmer. We know that, but we're adopting it creatively to Muay Thai, something that's not really been done as far as we can tell. So she's just feeling her way around this guard. So some of the rounds are diamond guards, some of them are standard Muay. But mostly I just wanted you to feel what it was like to be there. There's not many people who get to spar with somebody of the caliber of Yot-Kun Pon as a teacher or as a former fighter. He embodies a Muay Khao, elbow heavy style. Sylvie's a Muay Khao fighter, so she's really kind of learning his rhythms and his pressure style, but not through instruction, through imitation and kind of osmosis. And as I said, this is every other day she does this. She goes with Yot-Kun Pon in the morning, in the late morning, and then she goes to Andre, works on these Russian hooks, we're calling them, he has a very explosive style of boxing. His hooks just kind of like come out of the feet and out of the torso. I don't know enough about the finer points of boxing to know how unique this is, other than having seen a lot of boxers and boxing coaches. Something that he likes here is feels in his own thing, maybe out of a Russian style of boxing, I'm not sure, but we call them Russian hooks because they're his hooks. And so she trains other strikes with him, but she's on pads with him for an hour. So I captured some of that pad work. And it mostly is a way to just to develop this feeling in these outside hooks. And in shooting that, I wanted you to feel what it was like to just train one-on-one, horses and pigs. It's a very special little gym actually here in Pattaya. So it's two cool, unique training experiences that I wanted to record and just get the atmosphere of, but also capture some of the energy and a little bit of whatever techniques are going on, just to share with you, because this is really, not many people train like this, and just to even be able to share it with everybody. A lot of what Sylvie's done in her training journey is about improvising training opportunities, getting what you need by piecing together coaches and experts. The Muay Thai Library grew out of that, but she was doing it long before the Muay Thai Library. And so right now, as we're going on Sylvie 3.0, this is an aspect of the recipe that we've created that she's following and improvising as she goes. And on every other day, she's not doing this. She's doing Yokumpan every day, except for Thursdays. And then she goes and does pad work, like Muay Thai, gym, pad work, clinching, potential sparring, like normal afternoon training kind of thing. So mixing this in, this kind of intensive thing. So I hope you enjoy this. Thank you everybody who sponsors us and supports us on Patreon. It allows us to get this better camera equipment, experiment with ways of photographing and videography of Muay Thai. If you, I'm on Instagram and on Twitter. I'll put the links in there if you want to follow what I'm doing with photography. But really, this was just kind of like a slice of life in training without commentary. I hope you enjoy it.
Sparring Еще подход и башня. Чай гантельки. Да, упражнение. Сейчас покажу. Окей.
So there it is, my little film kind of atmospheric capture of what Sylvie's doing in every other afternoon. It's part of her 3.0 stuff, her march towards recreating herself during this year off of COVID. As I said in the introduction, I just kind of wanted to get you guys to feel these two unique spaces, an empty Pattaya gym with sparring with a legend, which is such an incredible opportunity to do it every single day. Every day, Yo Kumpan is kind of like pressuring her, breaking her down, but also drawing out patterns and rhythms and energies without instruction. Just the way that he is kind of like taking strikes, not taking strikes, putting pressure on, letting her flow at times. It's a really kind of unique kind of long-term process of fighter development that I don't know any fighter that kind of has gone through this as a main channel of development. Part of what, as we've talked about in Muay Thai Bones, if you are interested in this stuff, Sylvie and I do honestly the best Muay Thai podcast in the world. We just talk philosophically and technically about Muay Thai, historically about Muay Thai. It's called the Muay Thai Bones podcast. We'll put a link in the description to the playlist. It's free for everybody. We usually talk on the road, but what I'm saying on Muay Thai Bones, we've talked about this growing of eyes, that Sylvie needs to spend much more time in sparring dynamics, mostly to start getting those unconscious connections between techniques that she already understands physically, and she understands them mentally, intellectually, but now it's time to start grafting together all those pieces of knowledge, and the only way to do that is in space, under varieties of pressure. It's always really difficult because you don't want there to be so much pressure that you develop bad habits, which is always a possibility. Sylvie's physically very small. She's a 100-pound fighter. So you need that kind of like baby bear, it's almost breaking you, but not completely or too much kind of thing. But that's what this film was about. And I'm also excited about the work that Andre's been doing with Sylvie. He's been doing with her, I'm thinking about 3 months now. It's highly repetitive, 1 hour of pad holding in his boxing style, trying to tap into this explosiveness that he likes, that comes from the toes, comes from the feet, and to really get this kind of like hooks from both sides, ripping energy, which is interesting because to me, what he's doing with her in the Russian hooks goes right in with what the side project we have with Diamond Guard, which has these deep boxing roll sways that are basically loading up hooks. So I don't know, I'm kind of excited about all this. I don't want to get too excited. The main thing is just to keep everything stably growing, and I think that's where we're at. This is a little window into a day of Sylvie's training. She does more than this on these days. She goes for very early runs. She often will go to the gym and work on stuff on the bag and whatnot, but this is like the core of what she does every other day. And honestly, you saw her last fight, already in a few months, it's already made a huge difference. Her vocabulary is fucking exploding in terms of strike choices and flow and creativity. And I think I'm pretty excited about the way this is going. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for everybody that supports Sylvie and me and makes these kinds of things possible. I feel like we have beautiful cameras now. We have enthusiastic, passionate support on Patreon, and I feel like we owe it to everybody to record stuff and to make films like this, to share, to keyhole. From the beginning, when we got to Thailand with the help of other people, we wanted to keyhole these experiences so that people who are all over the world but can't get to Thailand, and especially that's the case now, you can look through the keyhole, you can see this other world, you can imagine yourself in it, and maybe make plans one day to come to Thailand, to create your own training path, your own fight experiences, things like that. That's really what this is about, and we feel a responsibility to do it. So I hope you got that out of it. If you have questions or comments, we have a forum called the Muay Thai Roundtable. We'll link that in the description too. If you want to talk about this, I'm also on Twitter. You can just shoot me messages. I'm very happy to discuss what's going on with this training. Okay, thank you.